You have a building facility, you have budget, you have DOE bureaucracy, but we love her.
Thank you, Amiga. Thank you so much for the honor of having me here. Oh, and speaking, this is amazing. I was not expecting this. It's an honor for you guys to be here and having this slamming session. I look forward to listening to it and enjoying the poetry and the expressions that will be said tonight. I enjoy it. I am not very good at poetry, but I do enjoy listening to it. And I hope to get a lot of ideas to share with the teachers. And I heard that you are very much into education and hopefully we can bring this to our school. So I am very excited that you're here, and thank you, Raul, because you always think of us. And so I look forward to it. Again, welcome to PS9. Bienvenidos y muchas gracias.
Thank you very much, Principal. We really appreciate your hospitality, allowing us to come into your school and partner with you. Greener Poets, once again, Greener Poets Cafe is concerned with education. We utilize poetry to that end, but we always want to help educate our youth and our adults and seniors. We conduct poetry workshops in the Fort Greene Crown Heights Senior Center, and they have written books. We've allowed them, we taught them to write poetry books. We publish their work. So yes, we can work with your students anytime. Just let us know, all right? But we're going to get on with this. Raul, how many poets do we have?
I think still 3.
We got 3?
Oh, we have 4?
We got 4?
Did you sign in?
Yeah. Okay. Did you pay at the door?
Yes, sir.
All right. This is a fundraiser. I ask. I don't mean to be crude, but this is a fundraiser for the school's PTO and Greener Poets Cafe. We'll write them a check tonight. We are not getting any proceeds from this. No, you need to understand that. Because education is so important to me, personally, as the executive director of this company, that we have decided to partner with the school because Greener Poets is a Crown Heights organization. And we want to teach by example how important our kids are to us. So, we're going to get on with the show. It's 7:15, we're here until 9 o'clock, and at 9 o'clock, I understand, Principal, we have to be out the door. Something like that, okay. Well, the principal is here, so if we go over, you're gonna put us into the corner or something like that, right? Okay, I hope not. Thank you so much, ma'am, for being here. Thank you, Raul, for welcoming us into your school, and it's an honor to partner with PS9's PTO. Before I introduce tonight's host, I want you guys to understand why this school was named Sarah Smith Garnett. Does anyone know who Sarah Smith Garnett was? We're in a library, so you can do your research. Does anyone know? And none of the teachers or school faculty answer this, because I know you all do. Does anyone know who Sarah Smith Garnett? Raul, I know you know. Does anyone know? Okay. I'll give you $20 if you tell me who she was.
Like 10 minutes.
No Google. No Googling. No. Okay, since no one volunteered, Sarah Smith Garnett was the very first African-American school principal in the city of New York. Ooh, Did you guys know that? No. All right. And this gentleman here, Raul Rothblass, is kind of responsible for the school name change.
There's one more thing that... All right, I have to jump in because this history is important. She was the principal, so she started teaching when she was 14 years old in 1845. Born in 1831, she was a principal from 1863, April 1863 until 1900. And the reason I mention April is because July of 1863 you had the draft riots, which were basically a mass murder of black people. They burnt down a colored orphanage, which was right near where she was a principal. So she was not only a principal and an educator for 37 years, supporting African-American teachers and supporting the same questions of integration that we have today. She also co-founded with her sister the first black women's suffrage club, I think in the world.
Who was her sister?
So her sister was Dr. Susan Smith McKinney.
Right.
Who here knows who Dr. Susan Smith McKinney is?
No Googling. No Googling.
So her sister, as I said, was, they co-founded the first African-American women's suffrage club. Her sister was the first African-American woman doctor in New York, the third African-American woman doctor in the country. They were active in this neighborhood. They had poetry actually not far from here on Carlton Avenue. They were active at the Carlton Avenue Y, which was one of the largest African-American YMCAs in the country. They helped when Ida B. Wells, so 1892, Ida B. Wells, anti-lynching activist, her press was burnt down. So, and her friends, her good friends were murdered, her friends were murdered. Sarah Smith Garnett and Ida B. Wells fundraised for her, and so Ida B. Wells moved to downtown Brooklyn. So we have in Brooklyn, and these were the same people who helped found the NAACP, the Urban League. All of these civil rights movements were actually started, a lot of them in downtown Brooklyn. Her father was Sylvana Smith, who's one of the founders of Weeksville. So Tunis Bergen fought against black suffrage. He kept raising the bar for African Americans to vote. And that's one reason why we took the name Tunis Bergen. Sylvana Smith helped make it possible for African Americans to reach the property requirements for suffrage. So this was very active in downtown Brooklyn. All the African American churches, all the cultural institutions, I could keep going on this stuff. This is important history. I would be glad to talk about it at length.
He's off the clock and he's still teaching.
And this man, tell me about it. This man is a wealth of information, and he's always at the vanguard of really important issues for the community. So please, ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for Raul Rothblass. Okay, we're gonna get this thing started. Is that all right? Come on, turn that music up a little bit. I gotta get the vibe going. Gotta get the vibe going. Okay. I see you. Did you sign up? You didn't sign up for the slam? No, you got to sign up for the slam. Did you pay $10? Did you been sign up for the slam? You don't want $100? You don't want, first place is $100 and a trophy. Second place is $50 and a trophy. Third place is $25 and a trophy. Who's going home with a bag? Who's going home with a $100 bag? Oh, who's got confidence out there? Who's going home with the $50 bag? You better not raise your hand. That's second place. That's second place. No, we're not second placers here. We're first placers up in here. First, second, and third. Okay, there you go. Well, I'm getting ready to introduce, I'm going to sit myself down and introduce the host and MC for this evening. He's a wonderful man, a great brother, and he's a fantastic artist. I hope he gets up here and does his thing before he really starts the show, because you guys are in for a treat before the show, okay? His name is Luther Isler. Luther is the CEO and executive director of the Bomb Shelter. It's a poetry organization in Harlem. This brother does theatrical productions. They do poetry slams and open mics as well. He is a recording artist, consummate poet. He's an exciting spirit who's got such vibe. I mean, you guys are gonna really love this. The last event, he was with us at Carnegie Hall. Yo, did you hear that? come anymore. Yeah, Green Earth Poets Cafe and Neon Art. And the brother he brought it hard. So ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together. Come on. Oh, well, by the way, you can snap your fingers. This is a poetry slam. You can snap your fingers. You can stomp your feet. The kids are home, right? The kids are not here. So you can stomp your feet. You can go, oh yeah. Oh yeah. You can say, bring it, poet. You can say, do that, do that. Yeah. All right, come on. You guys, now, every artist needs your excitement. They need your energy, all right? So if they don't have your energy, they're gonna be up here, Mary had a little lamb. They need your energy, okay? Thank you for the lighting, I appreciate that. So ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, come on, put your hands together, start right now. Right now, yeah, you can clap, you can clap, you can clap for Mr. Luther Isler.
That was quite an introduction. Clap it up for Curtis. Clap it up, clap it up, clap it up. Doing some really great work here, really great work. The opportunity to not just take the concept of how poetry meets literacy, but actually bringing it into a space like this is a really dope opportunity. So, like I said, my name is Luther Isler, poetically known as Anubis. We're gonna have some fun tonight, right? We're gonna have some fun tonight, right? The energy is almost palpable, so I'm really excited. I'm gonna open it a little bit real quick, because I like to warm up the space and the stage for everyone, and then we're gonna get to our special poet for tonight. Sounds good so far? Yeah! Alright. Lift every voice and sing till earth and heaven rings, but everyone does their own things and they forgot. We used to pendulum swing. Just like strange fruit on the trees, we were drenched, pinched, and lynched. How could it be? How could you see yourself or even someone else? Like you screaming, someone help! You never know the pain we felt. We used to be kings. Still we're rising from out of the dark past, surviving under the hand of our God. We're alive and thriving, and like still grew strong in the fire, man. Stood strong against the crow and the firemen. Water hose blasting, rubber bullets firing. But victory is my desire, and we're living large. But even though the living's hard, don't be forgetting just what we're living for. See, I think the dearly departed for making wise choices. Take it back when we started, lift our voices, sing a song full of hope we carried so long. A cross splintering our back, bloody but that's strong. Enough to take the pain of whips again and again now. Whips and platinum chains are the trade of the new slaves. We rolled with roses, saw more guns than roaches. Walked ruby bridges in Selma and ran with Moses. Underground on railroads with no trains, so locals can express on tracks to stop the pain. But this don't need no track and our anthem needs no refrain except lift every voice and sing a song till freedom reigns. To victory is 1, 2, 3, 4, every human being. If Martin woke up from his dream, would he believe what he was seeing? The pen I wrote this with ain't as black as our prison residents. Respect the past to protect our future, cause the present is tense. Lift every voice and sing to ancestors propel you. And prepare for war, like a metaphor in a bomb shelter. Thank you. All right. First, get like half of my job, so I'm gonna do a little bit of it again. So, I'm gonna bring some super dope poets coming up. Very first one is, I like to call it practice poet. Get you an idea how to get warmed up for everyone else who's about to come on, all right? So, like Curtis said, if you enjoy something, clap. So let me hear you got time. All right. Now, some people like to snap. I don't really do snapping, but let's just put it out there. You enjoy something, give it a snap, give it a snap. All right, now here's the thing, right? You ever hear something, you just feel it in your soul, you just gotta jump up and go, woo! All right, we're gonna try that right now, okay? So 1, 2, 3, everybody jump up, woo! 1, 2, 3, woo! All right, cool, you gotta do 1 foot. Woo! All right, there you go, all right. Clap it up for yourselves, clap it up for yourselves. So without further ado, this is a super dope dude. I've known him for some years.